Hello everyone, welcome back to my video series on the life of an average Oxford mathematician. As you can see, behind me, the background has changed because I'm in a new room. This is something that happens every time during break. As an international student, so I get exiled from my own room and I have to move to like a different room. Slightly annoying for international students. Uh, but hopefully next year I wouldn't have to do this because the room that I'm living in is in the same building as the room that I will live in next year. So hopefully they will just let me stay in my room next year so I don't have to move every 8 weeks. Yeah, but this is slightly annoying. And I apologize for not uploading at my usual time, which is Sunday midnight or so. But the reason is because last week, week 8 of Hilary, was probably the most interesting week I've had since I've came to Oxford. Interesting, eventful, whatever, however you want to put it. It's in a good way, and I will dive deep into what happened. So, the first thing that happened is the stock pitch competition, which, to be fair, I say that's the first thing, but it technically happened on a Thursday, but in preparation for the stock pitch competition. We put in a lot of work, or at least my teammate did. I was kind of the free rider in this situation, but even I had to make sure I knew all the models very well and I knew how to justify all the assumptions and explain the calculations, and it was just a very crunch few days before that. One of my teammates basically didn't sleep for a whole night to make sure our presentation looked good, and one of the teammate that was supposed to come with us to present was struck down by COVID and had to isolate, so he couldn't come with us. So we had to have an immediate substitute, and but I think our team did a really good job. We didn't manage to win in the end, but we were out of 12 teams. We weren't top five, but I would guess that we're about 6, 7s, because there are definitely teams worse than us, and there are definitely teams better than us. But the experience was just fantastic, right? We went to the Shard in London. We went up to the 17th floor, great view. We basically got to pitch a stock in the Shard, in our suits, talking to CIOs, and so the experience was definitely something worth doing. And it is basically also we were basically pitching with and against the best student analyst, as they called it, in the whole of England, and it was. It was definitely an experience. The other Oxford team that went with us, some really nice people, they managed to win in the end, and they were very deserving of the win. Their pitch was just simply one level above everyone else. And seeing how both of our pitch transformed over time, because we had 2 practice rounds, it was just was quite inspiring. They included Monte Carlo simulations, and which to me was really cool, and they were able to answer all the questions with a lot of confidence. And but yeah, their pitch was by far the best pitch in the competition, and our pitch was somewhere in the middle, I'd say, but it was also quite good, I would say. So apart from the stock pitch competition, there was the data hackathon, and hosted by Citadel, that me and a friend of mine participated in, and that was probably in the short period of time I probably learned the most things doing that. It was such a crunch experience that while other teams were pitching in the Shard, I was trying to make machine learning models, and I think it was just it was an experience in learning how to machine learning is surprisingly easy with Python. It takes about 2 lines to implement, but to actually understand what the model is doing and to understand what the model is doing, to tune the parameters for maximizing outcome, to prevent things like overfitting, to to evaluate a model appropriately using either recall, precision, or accuracy, depending on the biasness of the data. That was just like things that I had to learn within a couple of days, and then create something to like to report for. So it was quite fun. I think we definitely, compared to the other teams that participated, we were probably like just miles below their level. Like because we the winners were like briefly share what they did, and it was like, oh, time series analysis, residual analysis, hypothesis testing. The only thing I knew out of those three is like hypothesis testing, and that was, I knew that once upon a time when I did AP statistics about like 2-3 years ago, and so yeah, we were definitely not a competitive team, but I think like our learning, we learned probably the most. Well, I don't want to say we learned the most, but like we definitely learned a lot from the experience, which is the point of the experience. That's it, and this also helps me potentially prepare for any internships that I might get. I applied to, yeah, that's the other main thing about this week, applying to internships. Unlike last time, I didn't do this like the day before. I worked on it for like about 2 weeks, right? Two applications, just two application essays. And they were really, really difficult to write, I would say. Or they weren't really difficult to write. But like once you write it, the amount of tuning that goes into an application essay, like personal statement or cover letter or whatever you call it, like for me at least, I think I spent about 5 to 10 hours per like application. And like also just like getting feedback. Yeah, I would probably say more on the 10-hour side. It was just a lot of work, and but yeah, I really hope I can get the one of the two that I applied for. So I applied for one in natural language processing, which is slightly difficult since I don't actually know too much about natural language processing. I will be taking a course over the break. I've already started, and I look forward to it. On the other hand, the other course I think, or the other internship I think I have a better chance of getting, or at least my experience better prepares me for, and that is basically just a data analysis, data ETL role in marine traffic. And I hope at least I get one of them because these are both something that I'm quite interested in and quite keen on doing. So yeah, that is why last week has been really hectic. The three things: shard, stock pitching competition, hackathon, and application essays. And but now that's all out of the way. Now I think I can get back to revision, because that is quite important. I would say my recommendation for all current or future Oxford students is that, or at least the ones that have the same like exam schedule as mathematics, because I know some, like a friend of mine has already finished their prelims because they had prelims after Hilary. Most people have it after Trinity though. And my advice is make sure you like I think it's very important to branch out and explore as much like as many things in Oxford as possible. But I also think it is probably the most that your priority should be getting a first, and we can definitely, and that can be done by like focusing on revision over the breaks, right? Review for collections. Do something else. Don't just review over the break. That, because like you need something to do that while you're like taking a break, right? So yeah, work on revision, and I would also recommend Trinity term to mostly focus on revision. And at least for me, I don't think I will be taking on as much extracurricular activity over Trinity as I did over like Malcolmus and Hilary, because I think first is still probably the most important thing. Being like, in terms of like, if you ever apply for a job or like internships, jobs, graduate like further study, like PhD opportunities, I would imagine the first thing they look at is still your grade, right? They will like, a first from Oxford probably won't get you a job, but they will get you past the first stage, right? If you don't have a first, that would be like, you would have to have a really cool resume for that to be pulled off. So I think it's still very important to make sure you get a first, do well in your degree, right? So that will conclude this video. It's been a while since I made a 10-minute long video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and if you have any like comments, constructive criticism, please let me know. I'm trying to improve the quality of these videos and make videos that are more relevant to people. And but yeah, if you like it, if you like my content, please like and subscribe, and anticipate more. And see you guys either sometime during the break or next term.